وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا وبه نستعين وما توفيقي إلا بالله عليه توكلت إليه أنيب أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah, all thanks and glorifications are due to Allah. We thank Him for His blessings. We thank Him for the guidance of Islam. I bear witness there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah. He has no associate, He has no partner. I bear witness that our Prophet, our leader, Nabiuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the true slave and messenger of Allah. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, his companions, his family, and all those who follow the right guidance till the end of time, and may Allah include us among them. We thank Allah that today He has given us opportunity to be gathered in this masjid of Federal University of Technology, Mina, to continue taking our lessons from the glorious Quran. Today, the 13th of Ramadan, 1446 years after the hijrah of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is equivalent to 13th of March 2025. We are taking lessons in Surah Al-A'raf, that is chapter 7 of the glorious Quran. We stopped at verse 34. Inshallah, today we will start from verse 35. Chapter 7. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا بني آدم إما يأتينكم رسل منكم يقصون عليكم آياتي فمن اتقى وأصلح فلا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون.
Allah Ta'ala says, Ya Bani Adam, imma ya'tiyannakum rusulun minkum yaqussuna alaykum ayati faman ittaqa wa aslaha fala khawfun alayhim wala hum yahzanun. Allah Ta'ala now is calling on the children of Adam, Banu Adam. وأخبر الله تعالى العباد بأنه سيرسل إليهم رسلا من أبناء جنسهم من البشر يتلون عليهم آيات الله ويبينون لهم ما أمرهم به وما نهاهم عنه فمن آمن بما أنزل الله وآمن برسله واتقى ما نهاه عنه وأصلح نفسه بفعل ما أوجبه الله عليه وأحسن العمل فإنه سيكون في أمن يوم القيامة. Allah Ta'ala is now saying regarding the children of Adam. After Adam finally came to this dunya, and then he had children, and then the struggle continues in this dunya between evil and good, between devil and the human beings. Allah Ta'ala has so decreed that He will not allow human being without a guide. Remember, Allah Ta'ala told us that when He creates mankind, He placed on the surface of the earth fiha ma'aish. He gave man the means of livelihood, what he will live on, what he will survive, what he will maintain his own material being. And you realize that the human being that dropped on the surface of the earth will realize that his water that he needs to drink is already prepared. The surface of the earth that he needs to walk on has already been prepared. And the cover, the top, the energy, source of light, everything has been prepared for him. Imagine if he drops in this dunya and nothing prepared for him. He wouldn't have survived. And it will look as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not like fair to him. Because he never knew the kind of world he is coming in. So he dropped his means of survival, what he needs to maintain his life, Allah prepared and gave him. And that is why even the baby child, the time the baby dropped from the womb of the mother and come out of the world, the food of the baby is already prepared through the breast of the mother. And Allah have trained him on how to suck that particular breast. Nobody will teach him. And then immediately he sucked the breast, the milk will start coming. And that's the best food for him. No any other food is best food for that baby child like that. So this is the material side of the human being. But the human being is not only material, they also have the spiritual side. So the spiritual side also Allah Ta'ala sent revelation as a guide. In the same way, if the human being abandon all this material thing Allah created for his body build up, the body will suffer. In the same way, if he abandon that particular need, spiritual need in terms of revelation, the spiritual form of the human being will suffer. And that is why Allah Ta'ala said in one of the verses, وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. We will never punish any community, any people, until we send a message to that particular community. So their attitude towards the message is what will determine whether they will be punished or they will not be punished. But if the message has not been sent, then Allah Ta'ala promised that He's not going to sort of punish the community. So Allah Ta'ala now said to the children of Adam, after coming to this dunya, Ya Bani Adam, O you the children of Adam, Imma ya'tiyannakum rusulun minkum, when rusul, messengers, now comes to you minkum, and these messengers from among you, meaning messengers who are human beings like you. If they finally come to you, yaqussuna alaykum ayati, they will come to you and be narrating to you my signs, my wonders, my teachings. They will now recite to you, they will teach you all this. فَمَنِ So it is at that point, whoever fears Allah, meaning he became alert and follow the responsibilities that is vested upon him and do the right thing, وَأَصْلَحَ, and then correct his own spiritual being and become good, meaning he corrected his heart, his mind, his conscience, and then he did what is right, then فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. There is not going to be any fear or grief for that particular person after returning back to me. So Allah is giving human being the assurance. Go to the dunya. Adam has come to this dunya, and the devil has promised what he's going to do. But if you go to this dunya, Allah will not abandon you. Allah will give you a manual that will guide you, that will help you, that will assist you. Your attitudes towards that manual will determine how you will come back and meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If now you fear Allah ta'ala, you do what is expected of you to do, and then you correct your own heart, your mind, and your affairs, then have nothing to fear. You come back to Allah and Allah will be pleased with you. So two things here we shall consider. The issue of at-taqwa and the issue of al-islah. Two things. Very important and relevant to the success of the human being. At-taqwa. Taqwa, that is to be alert, to be conscious to your responsibilities. Some scholars give the how to understand taqwa. You said, imagine yourself crossing a very narrow bridge. A very, very narrow bridge. And then under the bridge is a very, very big sea, water. And then on top of the bridge, which is very narrow, there are tons of very dangerous things there. But there are little spaces that you can place your own leg, place your foot to cross over this bridge. And it's compulsory for you to cross the bridge. If you are sent to cross this bridge, how will you cross it? Will you just close your eyes and start moving? Will you just blindly start walking? You will sit down and be very careful. You will look and search where you are going to place your right foot. You will put it. Before you put the left one, you will search, you will look before you take. That is how you will be moving. If anybody will ask you to hasten, what will you tell him? He will ask him to wait, isn't it? That is taqwa. So you are living in this dunya is like that, at taqwa. Be very careful regarding your movement in this dunya. Be very careful for every step you are going to take. Is it what you are to eat? Is it what you are to survive on? Is it how to relate with others? Is it so that carefulness, the care that one is taking before he crosses that bridge, that is what is expected of you in this dunya. So for many whoever live in this dunya in this way, being very careful, being conscious, being alert, wa aslaha, and then he now purified his activities, his actions, and his mind. He became good, then that is the person that will have no fear. So it means these are the two things expected of us. It's not the best for one in this dunya to be doing anything anyhow. You have to be thinking and reflecting about the consequences of your action. So if you do that, then you have nothing to fear. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَالَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا
وَالَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا وَاسْتَكْبَرُوا عَنْهَا أُولَئِكَ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ.
وَالَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا وَاسْتَكْبَرُوا عَنْهَا أُولَئِكَ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. Then the other side, just as mentioned, the attitude of the human being towards revelation determines their end after returning back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If they do what is right and they actually believe in what Allah has sent, then they have nothing to fear. But وَالَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا, those that deny our ayat, those that refuse and take it as if it is lie, those that just turn their eyes away from it, those that deny our ayat, وَاسْتَكْبَرُوا عَنْهَا, and they became arrogant over it. They feel nobody should teach them, nobody should guide them, nobody should instruct them. So they became so arrogant, they don't want to listen. Then this kind of people, أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ, these are going to be the dwellers of hell. هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ, and if they enter into it, that is all. They will never come out of it. So these are now two other attitudes that will determine a bad end to the human being. One, denying the ayats of Allah. Denying the ayats of Allah means you don't even want to listen. You don't accept it. You don't hold it as true. You take it as just a mere joke. You don't pay serious attention to it. And as said earlier, the ayats of Allah are many. There are the ayats of Allah we read, like the glorious Quran. These are the ayats of Allah Ta'ala. There are other ayats of Allah, the wonders of Allah. وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ. Even yourself, you are an ayah of Allah Ta'ala. Look at how you are created. Look at how your body form is. Look at the systems that is operating in your body. Look at look at the whole heavens and the earth. إِنَّ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ لَآيَاتٍ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. Look at the heavens and the earth. Look at the alternation of the day and the night. All this is لآيَاتٍ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. They are ayat. So in everything, وَفِي كُلِّ شَيْءٍ لَهُ آيَةٌ تَدُلُّ عَلَىٰ أَنَّهُ وَاحِدٌ, like someone will say. In everything you look around, you see an ayah of Allah. Everything you look around will guide you to know that there is a being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who himself depends on nobody, who himself has no need of all these things, but everything has need on him subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whoever denies this ayat and then turn deaf ear, don't want to even listen, وَاسْتَكْبَرُوا عَنْهَا, and became arrogant, like Iblis did. Out of arrogance, he now refused to obey the instructions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Out of arrogance, أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِّنْ خَلَقْتَنِي مِنْ نَارٍ وَخَلَقْتَهُ مِنْ طِينٍ. I am better than Adam. You created me from fire. So he looked at himself and give himself self-worth. And from there, he now looked down upon the other creator, that is Adam. You see arrogance. Arrogance is a very terrible attribute that an individual should do his best to do away with. Whoever is arrogant, that particular person can hardly get anything from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whoever is arrogant, his end is always disgrace. Whoever is arrogant will always end his life frustrated. Arrogance brings nothing good. And that is why you have to work to ensure that you do away with arrogance in your mind, in the way and manner you behave. Rasulullah mentioned what is arrogance. Arrogance is that you reject the truth because the other person have no authority or right or whatever to tell you the truth. And then you look down upon people. This is arrogance. You see, when Allah Ta'ala said about Adam, between Adam and the angels, Allah taught Adam some knowledge, isn't it? And then he now instructed the angels, and bi'uni bi asma'i ha'ula in kuntum sadiqin. Define all this thing for me, define them for me, tell them what they are. They couldn't. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Adam, go and tell them, define it for them. And bihum bi asma'ihim. Falamma abda'ahum bi asma'ihim. Qala, alam aqul lakum inni a'lamu ghaiba as-samawati wal ardi wa a'lamu ma tubduna wa ma kuntum taktumun. Allah Ta'ala directed Adam, okay, tell them. So Allah told them, and then Allah Ta'ala said what? Inni a'lamu, I knew what you do not know. Where I'm leading us to is, Adam never claimed he knew. It was Allah rather that said to the angels, I knew what you do not know. So Adam was not proud of the knowledge. Allah gave him the knowledge, but he was never proud of it. So he never showed that this particular knowledge gave him an edge over the angels. It was Allah Ta'ala that now showed that Adam is superior to the angels based on this knowledge that he has. And that is why our scholar will say, a scholar is that particular person that others confirm and call as a scholar, not the person that claimed to be a scholar. It's not the person that claimed the knowledge, but rather is the person that other people attribute the knowledge to him. And as a result of that knowledge, it elevates his status, and his status becomes elevated because of humility. Like Ibn Qayyim was saying, if you realize that your knowledge adds you in arrogance, then that knowledge will destroy you. But if you see that your knowledge adds you in humility, then that knowledge will save you and become a treasure for you even after death. So knowledge shouldn't make you to be arrogant. And the fact that you know better before the other person, or you know much more than the other person, shouldn't make you to be arrogant. If you are arrogant, then you fall among this. وَالَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا. Those people who deny our signs, وَاسْتَكْبَرُوا عَنْهَا, and they became arrogant over it. أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ. These are going to be the dwellers of hell. هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. And if they entered, they will abide there forever. فَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ.
فمن أظلم ممن افترى على الله كذبا أو كذب بآياته أولئك ينالهم نصيبهم من الكتاب حتى إذا جاءتهم رسلنا يتوفونهم قالوا أين ما كنتم تدعون من دون الله قالوا ضلوا عنا وشهدوا على أنفسهم أنهم كانوا كافرين.
Allah Ta'ala said, فَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنِ افْتَرَى عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا أَوْ كَذَّبَ بِآيَاتِهِ أُولَٰئِكَ يَنَالُهُمْ نَصِيبُهُم مِّنَ الْكِتَابِ حَتَّى إِذَا جَاءَتْهُمْ رُسُلُنَا يَتَوَفَّوْنَهُمْ قَالُوا أَيْنَ مَا كُنتُمْ تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ قَالُوا ضَلُّوا عَنَّا وَشَهِدُوا عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ أَنَّهُمْ كَانُوا كَافِرِينَ. So those people that deny Allah, those people that are arrogant, Allah told us how their end is going to be. Now to us that are living and the entire human being listening to the verses of the glorious Quran, Allah is saying, أَيْ لَا أَحَدَ أَكْثَرُ ظُلْمًا مِمَّنِ افْتَرَى عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا بأن أوجب على العباد شيئا من العبادات لم يوجبه الله تعالى أو حرم عليه من الدين ما لم يحرمه الله أو عزى إلى دينه أحكاما لم ينزلها الله سبحانه وتعالى على رسله. There is no person that have committed worse crime, worse a sort of bad and evil thing like this particular person. You remember Allah told us that those particular deceivers that were deceiving their followers, if they ask them, why are you doing this? They'll give two reasons. One, they said that they commit crime, fuhush. They commit evil things, they commit a sort of shameful acts. At the end, if they are asked, why are you doing this thing? They said, we met our parents doing it. It's a tradition. We inherited it. It's our culture. It's our tradition. That was one reason. So people hold to tradition without looking at whether that thing is having any meaning, whether that particular thing is even good, whether that particular thing even have value. And the other thing they do is they ascribe it to Allah Ta'ala. They say, after all, it's even permitted. So these are wrong ways of judging the goodness or the opposite of something that you are engaged in. So Allah said there is no worse person that will have committed wrong, mimman iftara ala Allahi kadiban, like the person who invented lies upon Allah. Meaning he will say this is confirmed by Allah when Allah never confirmed that. Iftara ala Allahi kadiban, invented lies against Allah. Like people that will tell that Allah allowed this, while in reality Allah didn't allow that. Or Allah decreed this, while in reality Allah didn't decree that. Or they will use the position they have of authority. Maybe they are leaders that people listen to, so they hide under that, and then they give them false sort of instruction and say that it is backed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like what some other people in other religion will do, what they call prophecies, for example. They will now speak in the name of God, while it is lie. It is either dream they had, which might not be true, or they measure one thing and the other, they make some comparison, and at the end, after deep thinking, comparison, and whatever, they come to now see that probably this is what will work out. And then they will say they had a prophecy that this will happen. We have had a lot of prophecy in Nigeria, isn't it? There are people that prophesize that so-so person will die, and that particular person never died. Some people prophesize that a particular election will do this way, and then it never did that way. Some people prophesy so many things, but the unfortunate thing is you see people following them because of misguidance. It is those that Allah guide that will realize that no, this is lie and these are all deceptions. So Allah Ta'ala said there is no worse person in committing crime and injustice and wrong deeds than the person that invents lies against Allah. أو كذب بآياته, or someone that is shown the clear ayahs and signs of Allah, then he denied it. This particular person have committed the worst crime. To invent lies against Allah, or to see the truth and you deny it, then who has committed worse crime than you? Allah Ta'ala said, Ulaika, those people that do this, they will see the truth, they will deny it. And they will invent lies against Allah just to deceive people and mankind. Ulaika yanaluhum nasibun min al-kitab. These people will still benefit. Yanaluhum nasibun min al-kitab. They will benefit and get their share of this dunya that Allah has prepared for them to survive. We understand that. Meaning, if Allah has so decreed the amount of food, the amount of air, the amount of water, the life they are going to spend, Allah will still give them that. So scholars says here, Allah Ta'ala is now declaring what Allah have declared for you. It doesn't matter whether you obey Him or you do not obey Him. What He has decreed for your food, it will come to you. What He has decreed for your destiny, it will come to you for your survival. And that is why in this dunya, Allah creates everything in this dunya for everybody to benefit, as far as that particular person is living. Human being, whether the human being is righteous or the human being is a criminal, whether it is animal, whether it's whatever. وَمَا مِن دَابَّةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ رِزْقُهَا. Everything that is moving on the surface of the earth, the provision of what that particular thing needs is with Allah and have prepared it for it. And that is why you go into the sea, you see some animals living there, living things, and their food is there. You see some flying with their wings, Allah have prepared their food for them. You see some in the desert, Allah have prepared their food on them. You see everything that Allah created, Allah has prepared what that particular thing needs in order for it to survive. So, ulaika yanaluhum nasibun, what their share that Allah Ta'ala have prepared for them, min al-kitab, nasibuhum min al-kitab, they are going to get it. But that does not stop there. Hatta idha ja'arhum rusuluna. They will continue to be benefiting and enjoying that provision of Allah. Is it food? Is it money? Is it enjoyment? Is it whatever? They will enjoy it hatta idha ja'arhum rusuluna, until when a time comes that our angel to take their life has finally come. Because remember, Allah Ta'ala told us at the beginning, وَلِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ أَجَلٍ. Every community have a time that has been apportioned to it. Every people, every nation, every individual have an apportioned time that Allah Ta'ala. So if that time comes, you just have to answer the call of Allah. So the same thing, a community or a nation or a people or an individual can continue to benefit from the provisions of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Whether that community is a criminal community or is a just community, but once the time comes, then hatta idha ja'arhum rusuluna yatawaffawnahum, to take their life. Because a time will come for living this dunya. At that particular point, the angels of death will ask them, qalu ayna ma kuntum tad'una min dunillah. Where are those that you have been worshipping and calling other than Allah? Can they save your life now? Where are they now? Are they going to benefit you at that particular point? Every person will just be after himself. And that is why Allah told us at the point of death, when the final hour has come and life is going away, the individual will come back to his real senses. If he's a disbeliever, the wish there is he wish he is given a time. He wish he is given a little time, but it is already late. He will never be given that particular opportunity. Then after death, the same thing, when somebody has seen reality has dawned upon him. He has now seen it. As our scholars will say, An-nasu niyamun fa iza matu intabahu. People are like dreaming in this dunya. Everything you see, this one have gotten this one lack this one enjoying this one suffering this, it's just dream. It is when you fall in the grave that you wake up. Iza matu intabahu. When reality down on some people, they will be saying, Rabbirji'uni la'alli a'amadu salihan fi ma tarakt. Oh Allah, my Lord, return me back. I'll go and correct all these things. I have seen reality now. Is it possible? It's not possible. And like the person dreaming, eating chickens, enjoying whatever, he wake up and see himself in his bed. And then we ask him, go back and continue eating what you are eating. He say, no, don't joke. So the same thing. So it means one have to open his eyes now. All these things are dream. All this dunya. You see this person being held, and then with entourage around him, with people hailing him, with this and that. By the time the final hour comes, we all go back and will become dust. And I said earlier, you see the most handsome person, the most beautiful lady. You see the most ugliest person. You see the most hefty and healthy person. You see them after you bury them on ground, under the earth. Come back after 2 months and see if you can differentiate them. They will all be the same. Minha khalaqnakum وَفِيهَا نُعِيدُكُمْ وَمِنْهَا نُخْرِجُكُمْ تَارَةً أُخْرَى. So when this particular time comes, and the angel of death have already come now to take life, then they will ask them, أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ, where are all those things? أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. قَالُوا, they will confess. Who will confess? These disbelievers, these people that deny the truth, they will confess. They will say, ضَلُّوا أَنَّا, they are no more here. They can't be of help to us. And that is why in this dunya, anything you hold, if you are going back to Allah, you open the hand. Anything you hold, if you are going back to Allah, you open the hand. Like one philosopher was saying, that if you come to this dunya, you come with your hand tight, that you want to hold everything for yourself. But after you die, the hand will open to tell you that, look, I'm going back with nothing. Because all what I have, I've left it behind. You won't go with it, so you'll die like with your hands open. Everything is left. Your close people will be the one that will be eager to go and bury you. However much close people are with you, if you die and they leave you like that, they can't stay with you for 2-3 days because you will get rotten and you'll be going to be smelling. So they will have to abandon you and then pick another person and leave you there. Your close relations, your wife, your husband, your spouses, your children, your leaders, your followers, your whatever, your political campaign officers, and all those, everybody will depart and leave you. And they will pick other masters, other friends, other colleagues. They will leave you. So the same thing, all those things you are holding as deities other than Allah. It's only Allah alone that creates, only Allah alone that is forever, only Allah alone that also. So anything you hold on to, you are holding on to falsehood, and then you will miss it. So they will say, قَالُوا ضَلُّوا عَنَّا, all these things have disappeared from us. وَشَهِدُوا عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ أَنَّهُمْ كَانُوا كَافِرِينَ. So they will serve as a witness against themselves. They will serve as a witness against themselves. أَنَّهُمْ كَانُوا كَافِرِينَ. Truly, they rejected the truth. Al-Kufur, rejection. They have truly rejected the truth. They will earn it by themselves, and they will confine it by themselves that they were actually criminals. And therefore, they deserve the punishment of Allah Ta'ala. May Allah assist us. May Allah Ta'ala say,
قال ادخلوا في قد خلت من قبلكم من الجن والإنس في النار كلما دخلت أمة لعنت أختها حتى إذا اداركوا فيها جميعا قالت أخراهم لأولاهم ربنا هؤلاء أضلونا فآتيهم عذابا ضعفا من النار قال لكل ضعف ولكن لا تعلمون.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, قَالَ ادْخُلُوا فِي أُمَمٍ قَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِكُم مِّنَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ فِي النَّارِ كُلَّمَا دَخَلَتْ أُمَّةٌ لَعَنَتْ أُخْتَهَا حَتَّى إِذَا ادَّارَكُوا فِيهَا جَمِيعًا قَالَتْ أُخْرَاهُمْ لِأُولَاهُمْ رَبَّنَا هَؤُلَاءِ أَضَلُّونَا فَآتِهِمْ عَذَابًا ضِعْفًا مِّنَ النَّارِ قَالَ لِكُلٍّ ضِعْفٌ وَلَكِنْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Allah Ta'ala now is telling us regarding those that live their life as criminals, not obeying Allah Ta'ala, not doing the right thing, disregarding the signs and the wonders and the calls of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, holding on to other deities, attached to this dunya and forgetting about Allah. And at the end, they now realize that they have missed everything. So after death, قال, it will be said to them, فيقال لهؤلاء المشركين المفترين الكذب على الله ادخلوا مع جماعة وأمم من أمثالكم. قال, so it will be said to them, ادخلوا, you should enter, you should join now. Join for أمم قد خلت من قبلكم. Join to be part of the community that came earlier before you. You were not the first to do this wrong. People that did this wrong have finally submitted themselves to Allah, and they are already into punishment. You that are just coming now, join them also. I join them min al jinni wal insi fin nar. Join them among the mankind and jinn, that they have been admitted into hellfire because of their crime, because of their atrocities, because of their sinful acts, because of their evils. They have been admitted into hell. Now as you are coming, join them and also be admitted there. This is a very terrible thing. Why? Why are they joining them? They've abandoned the truth. They followed the path of misguidance. And that truth and misguidance they were following earlier, Some of them might have claimed, as Allah mentioned in the previous verse, maybe they said it's our tradition. We made our predecessors doing. It's our culture. That is why we are holding on to that. Oh, Allah permitted. So Allah will say, okay, if it is your tradition and your culture, then look at where your predecessors have gone in now to suffer the consequences of their evil acts. Go and join them, and so that you can be together. كُلَّمَا دَخَلَتْ أُمَّةٌ لَأَنَتْ أُخْتَهَا. Allah said, whenever a community or a party is admitted into that hell and it sees its sister, they will be cursing one another. You are the cause, you are the cause, you are the cause, you are the cause. While in this dunya they were enjoying all the sin together. While in this dunya they were collaborators and helpers to one another. While in this dunya they were laughing and playing and joking. Why after they've seen themselves here, it is going to be a curse now, a lana. Everyone, so this one that entered will be cursing the other one that is just made. La'anat ukhtaha. Hatta idha daraku fiha jami'a. Until when all of them are gathered together. Meaning the first and the last, the followers and those that have been followed, the criminals and those that followed the criminals and supported them. If all of them have now, hatta idha daraku fiha, if they are all gathered in the hell jami'an, all of them, qalat ukhrahum li'ulahum. The last that entered will now say to the first, Rabbana, O our Lord, ha'ulai adalluna. These are the people that led to our misguidance. They are the ones that misguided us. You know, human beings can always accuse others, isn't it? They are the ones that misguided us. They are the ones that showed us this particular wrong path. You see, people are usually categorized into three. Those that are the real leaders. Those are the real people that drive. Is it good? Is it evil? And then you have the followers, the second group. And then you have the onlookers. Those that will be either here or there. It's the same thing in this particular surah, Surah Al-A'raf, when Allah will tell us about the Ashabul Jannah, the Ashabul Nar. People of hell and people of Jannah. And then there will be Ashabul A'raf. There will be in between, those that will be in between. So in this dunya, there are those that commit crime, and there are the followers and supporters of the crime. And then there are those that are onlookers, that they show, I don't care. This particular kind of position, Allah told us about Ashabul Sabt, the people of Saturday, Ashabul Sabt among the Jews, that when Allah Ta'ala gave them instructions that they shouldn't go and fish on Saturday, by instructions of Allah Ta'ala. So some people violated this rule because Allah Ta'ala tested them. On the same Saturday that Allah said you shouldn't go and fish, that same Saturday, very, very hefty fish used to come out. You know, that's the trial of Allah. Sometimes Allah will ask you, don't do this, and then you see a lot of tempting things there to see whether you can still restrain yourself. So when this thing happened, a lot among them now became tempted, and they began fishing on Saturday. So some other people came and were warning that, look, you are not supposed to do all these things, but Allah Ta'ala have warned you not to do. Others now come and say, no, what is your concern? After all, you are not also part of it. So Allah Ta'ala said, when our punishment came, Allah Ta'ala punished those particular people that were committing the crime. And then He punished them. Scholar says, when Allah Ta'ala said He punished them, and then He saved those people that were stopping, those people that were stopping the crime, they are the ones that Allah saved. Do you get the point? So Allah said He saved the people that were stopping the evil. He was silent and said He destroyed the others. So what happened? The people that commit crime, they were destroyed, isn't it? How about the people that kept silent? Or that said, we don't have, just leave them since you are not the one committing the crime. Allah was silent about them. Some scholars say they are part of those that were destroyed. While others said, no, maybe they were part of those that were saved because they didn't commit the crime. So you see, there's no certainty about them. There's no certainty, but those that stopped the crime, they were actually saved, as said by Allah Ta'ala. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned and said, for those that see crime being committed in their community and society and evil, and they keep quiet, and they withheld their hands and energy and power, and they refuse to say anything, then if the consequences of that crime come up, they will also not be spared. And Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, it's like those people that were traveling, that were sailing in a river, in the sea, for example, with a kind of a ship that have two decks, the upper and the lower deck. Those at the lower, if they are to take water, they have to apply some energy and go to the top to take water. So suddenly those below here say, instead of us suffering ourselves, why can't you create a hole here so that the water can just be coming in? So if those on top, they say, well, it is not our place, so we won't say anything. If they allow it to happen, what will happen? If this one becomes, will those one be saved? So the Prophet said that is if you allow problem, crime, and corruption and evil in your community. If the consequences come, you will not be saved. What fitnatan la tusibanna alladhina zalamu minkum khasa. So people la tanhauna anil munkar wa ta'muruna bil ma'ruf. Also, said you should hasten and have the energy to instruct people to do good and stop them to do evil. Oh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will include all of you in the punishment. So Allah ta'ala is telling us here that now, after they all get into hellfire, now they will be cursing one another. وَقَالَتْ أُخْرَاهُمْ لِأُولَاهُمْ رَبَّنَا هَؤُلَاءِ أَضَلُّونَا. Oh Allah, these are the people that misguided us. فَآتِهِمْ عَذَابًا ضِعْفًا فِي النَّارِ. Multiply their punishment, they are the cause. They are the one that follow us. So you see, they want to exonerate themselves. They want to put the blame to the other people now. Allah Ta'ala will say, وَالْقَالَ No, لِكُلٍّ ضِعْفٌ. All of you have a punishment in terms of, why did you follow them? Why did you follow them? Didn't Allah give you a sense of reasoning? Did Allah Ta'ala give you the revelation yourself? Did Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala guide you? Say yes. So you have to also suffer the same number of punishment, even though they will also have a share. Do you get that? Of misguiding. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Man sanna sunnatan hasana, falahu ajruha, wa ajru man amila biha ila yawm al-qiyamah, wa man sanna sunnatan sayyi'a, falahu wizruha, wa wizru man amila biha ila yawm al-qiyamah. Whoever initiated and guided people to something good, he will have the reward of guiding them, and then his own reward will also be added to him for their own guidance till the day of Al-Qiyamah. It's the same thing if you initiated a crime. You will have the sin of initiating the crime and a portion of a sin for all those that will have committed this crime without their own crime being reduced on them. So that is Allah Ta'ala saying, everyone will have a multiple of the share of the reward of the punishment. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala says, وَلَكِنْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ But you knew not about this, and that is why you submit yourself. So what this verse is telling us is, look, we all have to do our best to save ourselves from the torment of Allah Ta'ala. You don't just sit down and throw the blame to others. You don't sit down and become blind and say if people are bad, you also become bad. If people are good, then you can also become good. Rasul said, no, la takunu imma'atan. Do not be blind followers. Taquluna in ahsana nas ahsanna wa in asa'u asa'na. Rasul said, don't be like that. Don't be a blind follower. I say if people are good, then we can become good. If they are bad, you say that's the norm. So you also follow them. Don't do that. If you see them following what is not pleasing to Allah, you take your step. Either you stop them with your strength, or you stop them by talking to them, or at least you hate what they are doing. And that is وَذَلِكَ أَضْعَفُ الْإِيمَانِ. Allah Ta'ala said, وَقَالَ الْأُولَاهُمْ لِأُخْرَاهُمْ
وقالت أولاهم لأخراهم فما كان لكم علينا من فضل فذوقوا العذاب بما كنتم تكسبون.
وقال الأولاهم لأخراهم فما كان لكم علينا من فضل فذوقوا العذاب بما كنتم تكسبون. أي وقالت أولاهم أي ويرد المتبعون على الأتباع القائلين. So those leaders that were being accused, they will also reply. So they will tell those particular people that are following, because every time everybody will also get excuse, isn't it? It's like our country, Nigeria. Who spoiled Nigeria? We will say the leaders, and the leaders will say the followers. Who spoiled our country? This one will say the other will say the other one. So everybody wants to throw blame to the other person. No one wants to come up. And if you look at it critically, we all have a share. We all have a share. The leaders have their share, the followers have their share. Imagine if the people from your community is appointed to a political position now, and you begin to be congratulating him. All those congratulations are coming with certain things behind it, isn't it? Congratulating him. And congratulating him because you want something to come out of it, isn't it? And if you come back to the town, city, he has done so many good things, but if he has never come back to the town, will have built a mansion for himself, have not built a mansion for this and the other person, they will never look at the good thing he has done, isn't it? And some people used to say that is one of the problems. Imagine if someone is given an appointment where he is going to earn like 3 million or 5 million or even 10 million per month. And then it is people, every day you see them at his own gate, every day. His people, his city, people in the village, his relations, his distant relation, his far distance relation, his cousins and cousins of the cousins and aunts of all of them. How will he share all this so that it will be enough for them? So you see, some of us are part and parcel of the problem. I pray Allah Ta'ala assist us. You know, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said the best leaders among people are the leaders that they will praise their followers and their followers will praise them. They will pray for their followers will pray for them. Meaning they all see themselves as partners in good. While the worst among the leaders are those that will be cursing and accusing the followers, and the followers will be accusing and cursing the leaders. Everyone throwing the blame to the other. May Allah Ta'ala protect us. So Allah Ta'ala said, وَقَالَتْ أُولَاهُمْ لِأُخْرَاهُمْ فَمَا كَانَ لَكُمْ عَلَيْنَا مِنْ فَضْلٍ. We do not have any superiority over one another. So we are all at the same level. So فَذُوقُوا الْعَذَابِ, go and taste the punishment بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَكْسِبُونَ, for what you have done. Remember, even the devil, Shaitan, what will he say? When the whole thing have now become clear, the devil will say, look, don't hold me responsible. Have you seen me? Have you seen me? Have you seen the devil? No, you have not seen him. So he said, I only beautify my ways and then make it beautiful and attractive and you follow. So do not accuse me, accuse yourself. وَلَا تَلُومُونِي وَلُومُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Do not blame me. That's what devil himself will say. Do not blame me, blame yourself. After I beautify my way, did I force you? Did you see devil holding Cain? That you must follow him to that zina, you must follow him to that alcohol, you must follow him to that crime and corruption and stealing and whatever. No. He only beautify it for you and you follow. So blame nobody other than yourself. So the same thing will happen. Allah Ta'ala said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا
إن الذين كذبوا بآياتنا واستكبروا عنها لا تفتح لهم أبواب السماء ولا يدخلون الجنة حتى يلج الجمل في سم الخياط وكذلك نجزي المجرمين.
Allah Ta'ala said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا وَاسْتَكْبَرُوا عَنْهَا لَا تُفَتَّحُ لَهُمْ أَبْوَابُ السَّمَاءِ وَلَا يَدْخُلُونَ الْجَنَّةَ حَتَّى يَلِجَ الْجَمَلُ فِي سَمِّ الْخِيَاطِ وَكَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُجْرِمِينَ. Allah Ta'ala said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا, those people that deny our signs, those people that turn blind eyes to what they have been asked to do and they never cared at all, and then wastakbaru anha, and they become arrogant, not even wanted to listen. They don't want to submit to Allah Ta'ala. Then these people, la tufattahu lahum abwabu sama, a gate of admission into the heavens will never be open to them. It is never for them. وَلَا يَدْخُلُونَ الْجَنَّةَ, and they will never be admitted into the garden of peace. حَتَّى يَلِجَ الْجَمَلُ فِي سَمِّ الْخِيَاطِ, until if a camel can pass through the needle, the hole of a needle, that opening of a needle. So it's just an impossibility. Meaning the home of peace and enjoyment is never prepared for those people that deny Allah Ta'ala and those people that a sort of were arrogant against the ayahs of Allah. And that's why Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is saying, any of these two things, one, the issue of shirk, the other one, the issue of kibr, you have to be very careful about it. Associating partner to Allah, because associating partner to Allah can lead you to a hell that Allah will never forgive you. Inna Allah la yaghfiru an yushraka bihi wa yaghfiru ma duna dhalika liman yasha. Allah never forgives that you associate partner with him. Allah created you alone. Allah provides for you. Allah takes care of you. Allah is the one that created you. You die, you go back to him. But you are worshiping Allah with another thing. You are associating partner with Allah. You are equating Allah with another thing that is not Allah. You are taking the attributes of Allah and giving to the creators of Allah. So Allah Ta'ala said, if you do that, Allah will never forgive. May Allah protect us. The other one is arrogance. As Allah mentioned in hadith, he said, لا يدخل الجنة من كان في قلبه مثقال ذرة من الكبر. The person that have an iota of arrogance will never enter into Jannah. May Allah protect us. Arrogance will lead you to reject the truth. Arrogance will lead you not to appreciate the favors and mercy and rahmah of Allah. Arrogance will lead you to claim what does not belong to you. Arrogance will lead you to a sort of confront Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So arrogance is an evil crime that a Muslim is expected to run away from. Among the akbarul kaba'ir, the major sins as mentioned by Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the issue of al-kibr, that's arrogance, is also there. And we have mentioned, you see arrogance, it starts from ujub. Ujub, that is when you begin to give yourself self-worth. You feel if it is knowledge, you say, yes, I now have it. Who now have like me? Or if it is a position, you feel, yes, I am now there. Who is there then? If it is whatever, just like when Iblis begin to see himself, yes, I'm created from fire. خلقتني من نار وخلقته من طين. Ujub. Then from there, Kibr will now come in. Meaning, who is the other person that should tell me what to do? Who is the other person that this, and that? And then you begin to disgrace others, you begin to look down upon others, and you begin to reject what comes from them, whether it is true or not, because you feel they are not worthy. I mean, they do not have that particular worth to tell you the truth. Then arrogance have come in. May Allah protect us. So those people that have this particular thing, Allah Ta'ala said they will never be admitted into Jannah hatta yalijal jamalu fi sammil khiyat. Wa kadhalika najzil mujrimin. Allah Ta'ala said, and that is how we reward the criminals. Al-mujrimun, that's criminals, mujrimin. Those people that now commit crime and exceed the limits of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala said, lahum min jahannama mihad.
لهم من جهنم مهاد ومن فوقهم غواش وكذلك نجزي الظالمين.
لهم من جهنم مهاد ومن فوقهم غواش وكذلك نجزي الظالمين. This particular arrogant people, these criminals, these evildoers, these people that were arrogant, the people that denied and reject the truth, the people that never want to listen to the truth and never want to take heed regarding the warnings of Allah, lahum min jahannam mihad. Allah have prepared a place for them to lie in Jahannam. He have prepared like a mat, a place for them to lie in Jahannam, a place of resting, but not resting per se, but a place for them to dwell. That is in Jahannam mihad. وَمِن فَوْقِهِمْ غَوَاشٍ, and they will be covered on top with a terrible, a sort of punishment of heat also, ghawash. That means a cover of heat that will be covering them. Allah Ta'ala says, وَكَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الظَّالِمِينَ, and that is how we reward those people that are zalimin, people that are transgressors, people that commit a sort of zulm, injustice. So Allah talk about mujrimun as well as zalimun. So those people that commit crime and those people that commit atrocities or injustice, these are the kind of people that usually get this particular terrible end. May Allah protect us. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا
والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لا نكلف نفسا إلا وسعها أولئك أصحاب الجنة هم فيها خالدون.
You see, whenever Allah Ta'ala mention about the terrible and bad end of evildoers, Allah will also tell us about the good end of the good doers. Because in the dunya, it is a struggle between good and evil. It's a struggle between bad and good. So if you are good, Allah Ta'ala will never overlook your good deeds. In the same way that the criminals will have to suffer the consequences of their crime. So you are warned not to follow the path of evil, and you are encouraged to follow the path of good. So Allah Ta'ala is now saying, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, but for those who believe, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, those that believe, these are the opposite of الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا, those that deny our signs. But those that deny our signs, this is their end. But for those that accept our signs and are be comfortable to now say that this is truly from Allah, they accepted the words of Allah, they accepted the instructions given to them by Allah, they now believe and also attach themselves with what is expected of them of belief. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, not only believing, وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, they follow it with good deeds. And that is why belief is not only a kind of something that will be concealed in the heart. You say belief is in the heart, and then your physical affairs is evil. Yes, Allah Ta'ala knows what is in your heart, but what you do usually translates what is in the heart. It translates what is there hidden in you. Unless if you are forced by certain situation or circumstance as a result of weakness of your iman or the forces that are beyond your control or whatever. But other than that, belief usually should motivate you to do good. Just like disbelief will motivate you to do evil. So those people that believe and do the righteous deeds, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَا نُكَلِّفُ نَفْسًا إِلَّا وُسْعَهَا. Allah now added. Before Allah said, this is the reward of those who believe and do good deeds. Allah added a word. He said, لَا نُكَلِّفُ نَفْسًا إِلَّا وُسْعَهَا. But we are not going to overburden a soul except within its own ability. So it means even the good deeds is within your ability. The iman is within your ability. So the iman, for example, that is within your ability, the heart and the mind can be tempted. If the heart and the mind is tempted and then tilted towards evil and come back, that heart and mind is still a believing mind. So this issue of being distracted for a while is part and parcel of the human being. And that is why one day Hanzala, one of the companions, he came and he met Abu Bakr and Siddiq on the way. He was trying to go to Rasul. He said to Abu Bakr, Ya Abu Bakr, nafaka Hanzala. Or is it Umar he met first? He said, I have become a munafiq, a hypocrite. He said, what? He said, yes, the way I'm feeling, am I not a hypocrite in the way and manner I live? Because in the presence of Rasul, once he is preaching and telling us about Jannah and hell and good things, we will be so calm, so attentive, that our minds, our attention will be focused on Jannah and hell. But immediately we come back home, I will see ourselves just playing and joking and jesting with our. So I look at these things as a trace of nifaq. So Abu Bakr said, oh, Umar said, if that's the case, then it means I also have similar thing. So they went to Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Rasul said, no, it is not like that. If you are to remain in the same state you are anywhere in the world, then angels will have been shaking you all over. So it is part of the human mind, sometimes to be distracted, sometimes to be on the right path. It's part of human mind. And Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, someone came and said, okay, oh the Prophet, how can I know I'm a believer? How can I know I'm a mu'min? How will I know? The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Iza sarratka hasanatuka wa sa'atka sayyi'atuka fa anta mu'min. Do you want to know whether you are a believer or not? He said, yes, I want to know. The Prophet said, if you realize that anything you do good that is pleasing to Allah, you feel happy and fulfilled. And anything you commit something that is bad, or you commit sin, you feel worried and disturbed, then you are a mu'min. So a criteria that will make you to be a mu'min is not to be comfortable if you commit evil. Not that you cannot commit evil at all. If you are not comfortable, you feel worried, you feel disturbed, and you feel uncomfortable, then you are a believer. You are a mu'min. So you don't categorize that person as a munafiq. I was going through one posting today in the morning on one of the platforms. So someone was talking about the attitude of Muslims. They said majority of the Muslims are showing the fact, hypocrisy in their attitude, because you see people calling, or inviting them to the deen, give sadaqah, people will resist. Do this, people will not do that. He started certain examples. Well, I make a comment. I said, look, it's going to be too harsh if you say people are munafiqun just because of this. All this thing they are doing is called du'ful iman, not nifaq. It's weakness of iman. There's a difference between weakness of iman and hypocrisy. Hypocrisy deep in the heart and in the mind is not convinced. Deep in the heart and in the mind is not convinced. It's just portraying as if he is convinced. And this one is better known by Allah. It's better known by Allah Ta'ala. Yes, certain attributes can show. Like Surah Al-Sallam said, the sign of nifaq, alamatul nifaq. He mentioned, إِذَا حَدَثَ كَذَبَ وَإِذَا وَعَدَ أَخْلَفَ وَإِذَا أَتْمَنَ خَانَ. Now, if you come across someone, he tells you lie, he deceives you, and then he betrays you. He has all the attributes, isn't it? Can you still call him a munafiq? Scholars say you not call him a munafiq still. But he has portrayed the attributes of munafiqun, but he's not a munafiq. And then there's nifaqul i'tiqadi, and then there's nifaqul amal. Nifaqul i'tiqadi, that is a nifaq related to belief. When your belief is not true, then you become a munafiq. But if your belief is true, but you get engaged and indulge yourself in crime, in evil, in sinful things, then this is as a result of du'ful iman. The iman is weak at that particular point, but that does not mean the iman is not there. You can, and that's why Rasulullah is saying also regarding iman, whoever have iman, man kana fi qalbihi mithqala dharratin min al-iman. If you have iman, however little it is, you'll be admitted into Jannah, no matter the situation. Because iman is part of the good deeds that Allah Ta'ala says he will never discard that good deeds. So, but the person with iman and with so many criminal offenses, so many evil things, will be and may be admitted into hell. So that all the crimes he have committed, he will be punished for that crime until when he is finally cleaned. And then that iota of iman remain, then he will not be admitted into paradise. May Allah protect us. So Allah Ta'ala said, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, for those who believe, وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, and they follow in with good deeds. But لَا نُكَلِّفُ نَفْسًا إِلَّا وُسْعَهَا. Remember, we shall not overburden a soul except within its ability. Allah said, أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ. So they are going to be the dwellers of Jannah. Allah will admit them because of their iman, because of their good deeds. هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. And if they are admitted, they will abide in it forever. Allahumma ja'alna minhum. So Allah Ta'ala is saying now, the believers that believe and promote good deeds and live their life with good deeds, they are going to enjoy with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They have nothing to fear and they have nothing that will make them to feel grieved. Why? Because of their belief and iman. So by implication, we need to improve our iman and we also need to improve our good deeds. Let's not just sit down and say we have the belief alone. No, if you have the belief, follow it with good deeds. And if you are someone who have committed something bad, follow it with good things. The good things can erase the evil things. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, when Muaz came to him, I said, Awsini ya Rasulallah, advise me on what to do. And Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said to him, Ittaqillah haythuma kunta. Anywhere you are, be guided by fear of Allah. Anywhere you are, be conscious. Anywhere you are, be careful. Anywhere we are, be alert. Then wa'atbi as-sayyi'at al-hasana. If you have done some bad and evil things, follow it with good things. Tamhuha, so that the good things can wipe away the evil things. So this is the kind of the life a believer is supposed to live. You feel happy if you do good. You feel sad if you do evil. But if you commit evil and you take it as a norm, or you are even happy with it, then you are in a problem, because that's not the sign of a belief. Sign of a belief, you commit crime, you feel bad, you feel terribly worried. Our scholar says, even when you talk about the issue of istighfar or at-tawbah, the real thing that is known as tawbah and repentance is that worry. When you feel bad about what another mu'adama fata, you feel bad and you regret what you have done. Why did I do all these things? How come? Is it me? What happened? What led me to all these things? That's the real repentance. By the time you do this, then Allah Ta'ala's gates of forgiveness is widely open, no matter the crime you have committed. In fact, Sallallahu said, if you fill the heavens and the earth with all crime and evil, you come to Allah and ask Him for forgiveness. Allah is willing to forgive you. Allah is forgiving and merciful. The only thing is, if what you have committed is related to the rights of other individuals and people, return back their rights to them. Return back their property, then between you and Allah, ask Him for forgiveness. He is willing to forgive you. May Allah forgive us our shortcomings. May Allah forgive us our sins. And may Allah admit us in Al-Jannatul Firdaus. And whatever we have said, which is correct and right, may Allah assist me and you to implement the best out of it. And whatever I say which is wrong, may Allah forgive me and you and take it away from our minds and give us opportunity to get the correction so that we imbibe and follow the correct thing. I pray that Allah Ta'ala bless our ummah. Inshallah, we're going to stop here. اللهم صل كما صليت على ابراهيم وآل ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وآل محمد كما باركت على ابراهيم وآل ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد. اللهم ربنا ارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم اجعلنا من عبادك الراشدين برحمتك يا رب العالمين. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا الا غفرته ولا هما الا فرجته ولا دينا الا قضيته ولا مريضا الا شفيته ولا ميتا الا رحمته ولا مبتلا إلا عافيته ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة إلا قضيتها برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم ربنا تقبل صيامنا. اللهم ربنا تقبل صيامنا وقيامنا وركوعنا وسجودنا. اللهم اجعل صيامنا صيام الصائمين وقيامنا قيام القائمين وركوعنا ركوع الراكعين وسجودنا سجود الساجدين وجعلنا من عبادك الشاكرين الراشدين برحمتك يا رب العالمين. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا الخاسرين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم ربنا اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم. وسبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.